Hi, my name is Billy Gallagher, and I'm a dietetic intern with K-State working at the Extension office here in Johnson County. And today we're going to talk a little bit about healthy hydration. So hydration is one of the most overlooked aspects of health, and it's one that we can easily control with what we are drinking and eating throughout the day. So studies show that a 1 to 2% water loss can impair memory. It can have you have fuzziness in your brain. It can attribute to other issues with your skin and dryness of your mouth, eyes, joints, all sorts of issues that are associated with dehydration. And our bodies are 60% water. So in order for our body to have proper neurological function, blood volume, our kidneys functioning properly, cardiovascular effects, as well as gastrointestinal function and our musculoskeletal health, we need to make sure we're drinking an adequate amount of water every day. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that water is in a lot of our fruits and vegetables. So you should be able to get about 20% of your daily water intake from the foods that you're eating, as long as you're eating a proper amount of fruits and vegetables. So items like zucchini and squash can have up to 95% water content. And so adding in fruits and vegetables to your diet daily is going to be a huge benefit for your overall hydration. Other foods like soups are going to contribute a lot to the overall hydration of your body. And there's a variety of ways that you can actually stay hydrated with different sorts of drinks. You can add in juices and dilute them down. You can use carbonated beverages, sparkling water, things like coconut water, and those are going to have additional benefits because not only is the water hydrating you, but there's also going to be electrolytes. So items like blueberries and strawberries are going to be naturally high in potassium. Same thing with things like coconut water. And then you also have a variety of other foods which are going to contain electrolytes. As you're sweating, your body is releasing a lot of those minerals. You're losing potassium, chloride, sodium, and so having foods like pickles, bananas, even milk is going to have a high amount of electrolyte content. Almonds, baking soda, salt obviously is an easy way to get a little bit of sodium. Most of us have enough sodium in our diet, so focusing on things like magnesium and potassium may be a little bit more beneficial, especially if sodium is something that you are supposed to be limiting in your diet. A nifty little thing about cream of tartar is that it is a source of potassium. So I added a little pinch of the cream of tartar into one of these drinks here, and then that's going to add a little bit more of a potassium boost. And you can do that in your home just with your water or juices and other beverages, or even adding it into your foods. So a fun way to make an electrolyte drink is to add in your berries, and you're gonna want to muddle them up, which just basically means you're smashing them. So you're gonna be using something, they have little muddler tools, but a spoon works just fine. And then once you get those a little bit mushed up, that's gonna release some of those additional minerals and nutrients. You can also let them sit in a container of water, and then you'll see that over time that's going to have those nutrients get infused into the water. And I like to just eat the fruit once you're done. Some people don't want to eat the fruit, and you can strain it out, and that's perfectly fine. And then you can use that leftover fruit in something like muffins or some other baked good so that you're not wasting any of the rest of the fruit and that fiber content that's in there. Another easy way to get some electrolyte content is adding in mint, basil, or other herbs. And a lot of those herbs and spices are going to naturally have a lot of the minerals that you need in order to stay hydrated. Your body is most likely going to be dehydrated if you can tell that your urine is a dark or cloudy color. So a lot of times people think that you need to have clear urine in order to think that you're hydrated, and that is a myth. You want to have a pale yellow color of your urine, and you want to make sure that you're drinking water throughout the day instead of all at once. That's going to help prevent that overhydration aspect. And so drinking a glass or two every couple of hours throughout the day, even if you don't feel like you're thirsty, because as we get older, the sensation of thirst starts to diminish. And you also have less kidney function. So as we get older, it's harder for our kidneys to regulate those electrolytes. So making sure that we're drinking steadily throughout the day and incorporating foods like fruits and vegetables or soups is going to help maintain that hydration long term. So another interesting myth about hydration is that you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. So the Institute of Medicine says that you want to drink 9 glasses of water if you're a woman, 13 glasses of water if you're a man. Roughly about ½ an ounce of water for every pound of body weight is a good gauge. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to get about 100 ounces of water as a minimum. And so that's another way that you can kind of tell, because that 9 to 13 glasses and even the ½ ounce is just a guideline. So based on your activity level, if you're exercising intensely, or if you're more sedentary, is going to change the amount of water that you need to drink throughout the day. One of the things about exercising rapidly is more crucial to have those electrolytes, because again, as you're sweating, you're losing those minerals. So something like water is going to be the best way to stay hydrated unless you're intensely exercising longer than an hour or 2, and then you're going to want to make sure you have something that's got the electrolyte content to replenish those minerals. I think the vulnerable populations is the last point I want to mention, and that's going to include young children, pregnant and nursing mothers, as well as older adults, those that have critical illnesses, and other people with health conditions. Those are the populations that need to make sure they're focused on their hydration more so than your average adult. Everyone needs water. They say that up to 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated, and you'll notice that with, again, the dry mouth, dry eyes. You can even have muscle cramping. Feeling fatigued is a huge account for dehydration. And another thing that making sure that you're adequately hydrated will do is help you maintain a weight, because when you are working towards a healthy weight, if you feel hungry, you may actually just be thirsty. So drinking a glass of water and waiting 15 to 20 minutes before you eat may be a good way to help maintain what weight you are looking for.